Sosua Beach, Dominican Republic. Picture this: white sand, turquoise water, palm trees swaying in the breeze. It's like a postcard, but with more bachata music and Presidente beers. Sosua got this reputation, see? They say it's where you go to escape the ordinary to find adventure. The vibe in Sosua is electric, man. You got music playing everywhere, people dancing, vendors selling everything from fresh fruit to handmade jewelry. It's a whole sensory experience. Me, I was ready to soak it all up, man. See, I went to Sosua with a mission. I was on a quest, man. A quest for a good time. I wanted to experience everything Sosua had to offer. I took a deep breath, adjusted my best Kangol hat, and stepped onto that beach, ready to mingle. It was like stepping into a whole new world, a world where the rules were different, where anything could happen. So I'm strolling down the beach, taking it all in, the sun on my face, the sand between my toes, the smell of salt air and coconut oil. Then I see her. This vision in a bright orange bikini, just laying there like a goddess. I'm talking smooth, chocolate skin, curves for days, hair like a waterfall. I'm immediately hooked. I knew right then and there I had to talk to her. But how? My Spanish, it's a work in progress. I put on my coolest shades, adjusted my chain, and started walking towards her, exuding confidence. But then disaster struck. I trip, full-on, face-plant in the sand kind of trip. I lay there for a second, stunned. Then I hear it. Laughter, sweet melodic laughter. I look up and it's her, the woman in the orange bikini. She's standing over me, smiling. She reaches out her hand to help me up and I take it, feeling a jolt of electricity shoot up my arm. "You all right, Papi?" she asks, finally switching to English. I'm good, I say, trying to regain my composure. Just admiring the view from down there. She laughs again and it's like music to my ears. "You're a funny one," she says, shaking her head. "I like that." She introduces herself as Isabella and we start talking. Her English is good, way better than my non-existent Spanish, but she talks a mile a minute. I'm captivated, hanging on her every word. We're laughing so hard, tears are streaming down our faces. But then, just as I'm thinking this might actually be going somewhere, I hear a voice calling her name. "Isabella, mi amor." We both turn and I feel my heart sink to my stomach. Walking towards us is a man built like a tank with a scowl on his face. Isabella's face falls and she mutters something under her breath in Spanish. He wraps an arm around Isabella's waist possessively and glares at me. Man, I was deflated. I watched them walk away, Isabella and her protector. The next day I was back on the beach nursing my wounded ego. I couldn't get Isabella out of my head. Suddenly, I heard a familiar laugh. I looked up and there she was. Isabella, looking even more radiant than I remembered. She was alone, walking towards me with a shy smile on her face. "David, right?" she asked, her voice a sweet melody in my ear. "You remember me? Remember her?" Man, I could pick her laugh out of 1,000. "Isabella," I said, "how could I forget?" Turns out Mr. Muscles wasn't her boyfriend after all. Just a very jealous cousin, as Isabella put it, rolling her eyes. We spent the rest of the afternoon talking, laughing, sharing stories. As the sun started to set, casting an orange glow over the beach, Isabella turned to me, her eyes sparkling. "You want to dance?" she asked. We walked over to where a band was playing some smooth merengue. The music started and Isabella moved with a grace and fluidity that was mesmerizing. We laughed, we twirled, we lost ourselves in the rhythm of the music and the warmth of the night. As we danced, I couldn't help but notice how Isabella's eyes lit up under the moonlight. She had this infectious energy, a zest for life that was contagious. We found a quiet spot on the beach away from the crowds and the music. The waves crashed gently on the shore and a million stars twinkled above us. We sat there for hours, talking and laughing like old friends. Isabella told me about her dream of opening a little bakery. I shared my own aspirations, my hopes of making people laugh. Isabella listened intently, her eyes full of warmth and encouragement. "You're a good man, David," she said softly, her hand brushing against mine. For a moment, the world seemed to fade away. As the first rays of dawn painted the sky with hues of pink and orange, we knew it was time to say goodbye. We walked along the beach, hand in hand, watching the sun rise over the horizon. "I had a wonderful time, David," Isabella said, her eyes reflecting the colors of the sunrise. "Me neither," I replied, my voice a little hoarse from talking and laughing all night. "You're something else, Isabella. Take care, David," she whispered. "Follow your dreams." And with that, she turned and walked away. I never saw Isabella again after that morning. One thing I learned real quick in Sosua is that my Spanish needed some work. Trying to hold a conversation with these beautiful Dominican women was a whole other ball game. I remember one time I was trying to compliment this woman on her dress. I thought I was saying something like, "Your dress is very beautiful," but instead I probably said something like, "Your dress is a donkey eating a mango." But here's the thing about Dominican people, man, they're patient and they love to laugh. Somehow we always manage to understand each other. Another thing I had to adjust to in Sosua was the concept of time. See, back home, time is money, but in Sosua, time moves a little slower. People there, they ain't in a rush. They take their time to enjoy life, to savor the little things. At first, it was a little frustrating, I ain't gonna lie, but after a while, I started to embrace the flow, to let go of my need to control everything. I realized that sometimes the best things in life happen when you least expect them. Speaking of dominoes, man, let me tell you, those Dominicans take their dominoes seriously. It's more than just a game to them, it's an art form, a way of life. I'm talking trash talking, strategy, and enough passion to power a small city. I remember one time I was invited to play dominoes with a group of locals. Now I knew how to play the game, but I wasn't exactly a master. These dudes, though, they were like dominoes ninjas. They slammed those tiles down with such force, I thought they were going to break the table. I was getting my butt kicked, of course, but it was all in good fun. They were teaching me the tricks of the trade, explaining the strategy behind every move. And you know what? I learned more than just how to play dominoes that day. I learned about their culture, their values, their way of life. I learned about the importance of community, of respect, of never backing down from a challenge. It was a cultural exchange disguised as a dominoes game, and it was one of the most memorable experiences of my trip. Now, you can't go to the Dominican Republic and not hear about Mama Juana. This drink, man, it's legendary. They say it's got magical powers. I'm talking cure what ails you, put hair on your chest kind of powers. And of course, being the adventurous soul that I am, I had to try it. One night I'm at this little bar on the beach listening to some live music, when this old man sidles up to me. He's got a twinkle in his eye and a bottle of something in his hand. "Try this, puppy," he says, offering me a sip. "It'll make you feel like a new man." Now, I'm usually cautious about taking drinks from strangers, especially when they look like they just stepped out of a voodoo fairy tale. But something about this old man's energy, his mischievous grin, made me want to trust him. Plus, the drink smelled kind of like Christmas, with a hint of, well, I don't even know what. I took a sip. And man, let me tell you, that Mama Juana hit me like a Mike Tyson uppercut. It was like nothing I'd ever tasted before. Sweet, spicy, earthy, with a kick that could knock your socks off. I coughed, I sputtered, but I couldn't help but smile. It was an experience. The old man laughed, patting me on the back. "Good, eh?" he said, his voice raspy with age and probably years of Mama Juana consumption. "Best in Sosua?" I nodded, still trying to catch my breath. The next thing I know, I'm buying rounds of Mama Juana for the whole bar. The music is pumping, the people are dancing, and I'm feeling like I could bench press a small car. I vaguely remember talking to a group of women, their laughter like music to my ears. They were beautiful, all of them, with smiles that could light up the night. We were dancing, we were laughing, we were speaking that beautiful broken Spanglish that had become my trademark. The details after that are a little fuzzy. It's all a blur of vibrant colors, thumping music, and that sweet, potent Mama Juana flowing through my veins. I remember feeling invincible, like I could conquer the world or at least charm the pants off everyone in that bar. Now, I'm not saying that Mama Juana is a love potion, but I'm not saying it's not either. Let's just say that the old man wasn't lying about it having magical powers. The rest of the night is a bit of a blur, a kaleidoscope of laughter, dance moves I probably shouldn't attempt sober, and enough Mama Juana to sink a small ship. I woke up with the sun streaming through. Well, I wasn't sure what I was looking at. It looked like a palm tree, but it seemed to be doing a little dance in front of my face. My head was pounding, my mouth felt like a desert, and I had a vague recollection of doing the meringue with a coconut. I sat up slowly, trying to piece together the events of the previous night. I was definitely still in Sosua, that much I could tell from the sound of the waves crashing on the beach and the smell of salt air mixed with something else. What was that smell? It smelled like victory? No, that wasn't it. It smelled like, oh, right, Mama Juana. The memories came flooding back, a tidal wave of laughter, questionable dance moves, and that warm, fuzzy feeling that only a night fueled by Mama Juana can provide. I looked around, trying to get my bearings. I was on the beach, all right. But how did I get here? And more importantly, where were my shoes? As I sat there, nursing my Mama Juana hangover and searching for my missing footwear, I couldn't help but laugh. It was another classic Dave Chappelle adventure, another story to add to the collection. Sosua had a way of doing that to you, man. It pushed you outside your comfort zone, forced you to embrace the unexpected, and sometimes left you wandering barefoot on the beach, wondering what the hell just happened. Now, I'm not saying that everyone's Mama Juana experience is going to be as eventful as mine, but let's just say that it's a drink best enjoyed in moderation, especially if you plan on remembering anything the next day. The legend of Mama Juana lives on in Sosua, a tale whispered in bars and shared over dominoes games. They say it's a drink that can heal the sick, ignite passion, and make you forget your own name, sometimes all in the same night. So if you ever find yourself in Sosua and you're feeling adventurous, go ahead and give Mama Juana a try. But remember my story, my friend. Pace yourself, drink plenty of water, and maybe leave your dancing shoes at home. You'll thank me later. Or maybe you won't. Either way, it'll make for a hell of a story. Man, looking back on my time in Sosua, I can't help but smile. It was a wild ride, a roller coaster of laughter, adventure, and enough Mama Juana to last a lifetime. I went there hoping to escape the ordinary, to experience something new, and let me tell you, Sosua did not disappoint. From my disastrous first attempt at picking up Isabella to my domino showdown with the local champions, every day was an adventure. I learned to navigate the language barrier with a mix of broken Spanish and frantic hand gestures. I embraced the flow of island time, where deadlines were more like suggestions and rush hour involved a herd of goats crossing the road. But more than anything, I learned about the Dominican people, their warmth, their generosity, their ability to find joy in the simplest things. They welcomed me into their homes, shared their stories, and taught me that life is too short to take everything so seriously. I left Sosua with a heart full of memories, a suitcase full of souvenirs I probably didn't need, and a newfound appreciation for the power of laughter, love, and a little bit of Mama Juana. Sosua taught me that sometimes the best things in life happen when you least expect them. It's about stepping outside your comfort zone, embracing the unknown, and saying yes to every opportunity, no matter how crazy it might seem. Like that time I ended up singing karaoke with a group of Dominican grandmothers. Let's just say my rendition of I Will Survive was memorable, for all the wrong reasons probably. But hey, we all had a good laugh, and isn't that what life's all about? Or that time I tried to learn how to dance bachata and ended up looking like a wounded flamingo trying to escape a sand trap. Did I master the dance? Not even close. But did I have fun trying? Absolutely. Sosua taught me that it's okay to laugh at yourself, to embrace your inner goofball, and to never ever turn down a chance to dance, even if you look like a total fool doing it. So if you're ever feeling lost, burnt out, or just in need of a good time, book yourself a one-way ticket to Sosua. Pack your swimsuit, your sense of adventure, and maybe an extra liver just in case. And listen, when you're there, do yourself a favor and have a sip of mamajuana. Just maybe not 5 in a row like yours truly. Trust me on that one. It's a drink best enjoyed slowly with good company and a healthy dose of caution. Remember, life's a journey, not a destination. So embrace the detours, laugh at the mishaps, and never be afraid to try something new. You never know what kind of adventure awaits you just around the corner. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I hear a bachata song calling my name. Time to dust off my dancing shoes, or maybe I'll just stick to telling stories. Yeah, that's probably safer.